Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the foldable. On the foldable, we need to go ahead and have out 6 pieces of paper. I'm using construction paper that I have here at the house. Um, we are going to get 5 of those pieces of paper. They're going to remain nice and the same size like that. And we're going to like staple one side. They're going to be like a big like book. Okay, so staple that one side. All right, guys, I had to go grab the stapler. I forgot one. Here it is. So I'm going to staple my little booklet. Again, I understand that this is a new concept when it comes to the word converting molds. This is a new thing that you've never heard or seen or done before. So we do need to practice this. I'm going to grab a marker. And let's go ahead on the front of this booklet that you just made. I'm going to put, I think this is Unit 4 for us. Unit 4 foldable. Because we're going to do foldables all school year long. Right? Now this Unit 4 that we're talking about right now is the atomic structure. Just going to title it. So when I go back and look at all my foldables, I kind of know exactly what unit this is, what chapter we're on, and what it's about. Okay? So atomic structures and moles. We're going to get into more moles later on. And we're going to take this mold conversion to another level later. But like I said, we will be using this process of mold conversions pretty much the whole entire school year. So it's important to learn this. At the top over here somewhere, I don't know where, but please put your name. Okay, get that name up there so I know when you take pictures of it. So combined together, we have, one more time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of paper. Again, I have construction paper. You may just use notebook paper. You might want to use just regular plain white paper. You might have construction paper as well. I mean, whatever you have. So let's go ahead and let's begin. On the front inside of it, this is going to be, and I will take pictures also and post that as well. Let me go ahead and just open it. And this is going to be my page 1. On this side, this is going to be my page 2. And again, like I said, I'm going to take pictures. The video may help you out. You may just want to look at the pictures alone, and that might be good for you. I'm not sure which way you prefer. What we're going to do is we're going to get, because you already, for 2 weeks now, I think it's been up there, and we're going to grab the papers that were like pre-printed out already, and we're going to use a couple of those papers, so we're going to use that and put them inside this foldable. So let me go find my papers. They're going to be, let me see which one we're going to do first. We're starting off with the one that says proton, neutrons, and electrons. Protons, neutrons, and electrons. There, I found them. This page and this page. Okay, so I've got this page on one side, on the other side, because I did not print them front and back on my printer. I just printed them one page at a time. They're 2 different pages. I'm going to put them so as if this was one side, flip it, and this would be the inside. I'm going to get these 2 pages together. I'm going to fold them hot dog style like this. And I think you have glue sticks, or you can use tape, whatever you prefer. But when I open this up, I don't want it to open like this. I want it to open up as one like this. So I'm going to tape these pages together, or glue them, whichever one you have. Okay, so for me, I've got tape. I'm going to tape them. So that way when I open it opens up as one. I am going to tell you now here on the video that on the last foldable, we had some that were folded and you needed to cut them open and you needed to open up the little flap. Some of us did not do that. We just glued the whole thing down on the paper and that wasn't going to work. So I'm telling you now on the video, you need to make sure that if it's supposed to open up as some kind of flap, that you have it opening up, not glue the whole thing down. Okay, so here we go. Looks like this. It's going to open up. So I'm going to, on page 1, glue it down, but for me, I'm going to tape it down. So I'm taping this down on page 1. Let's get it taped in or glued in right now. Again, this is a video, right? So you can pause it, fast forward it whenever you need to, rewind it. But I'm getting this glued in very securely down to page 1. We will fill this in just a moment. And for me, since I'm using tape, I'm going to need to tape this down too. That way this is secure into page 1. Now with your scissors, you need to, when it opens up, I need to be able to cut it. So let's open it up and let's cut it right here. The protons from the neutron flap. It must open up. The neutrons from the electron flap. Again, it must open up. And because I taped it, this is like, look at this. I didn't glue it, so I'm going to tape these two together so when they open up as one little flap like this. That's what I want. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tape this one too, so that way it opens up as one flap and on the electrons. Okay, so this is what page 1 looks like, and they should and they better open up. So I would like for you to take a picture of page 1 like this, and then you need to open it up and take a picture of the inside, showing me that you completed the inside, so that way you can get full credit. Okay? We will come back and we will fill those in and answer them. Some of it's going to be left open and blank for you to work on your own. Okay? Let's keep going. We're going to put everything into our booklet first before I go back and help us fill in the blanks. Now we're over here on page 2. Page 2. You're going to get this one and this one. And that is going on page 2. Okay? So let's move this out of the way first. Let's go ahead and get this. There are some directions here. Okay? It tells you this is going to be history of atomic theory, foldable, directions, folded in half, hot dog style fold. Then cut along the dotted lines to form 6 flaps. You must do that. I'm reading the directions. On the side, on the outside flap, the scientist's name and picture should go. That's this. Okay. On the right inside, the description of each scientist, and on the left side, the inside of the flap, the actual picture of the model and the date in chronological order. That is part of your grade. If they're not in chronological order, then you're not going to get full credit. Glue this side down. So let's go ahead and begin. We're on page 2. I'm going to get this one. I'm going to fold it like this. And I'm going to get this side right here, and I'm going to glue it or tape it down onto page 2. So let's do that. Okay. Go. Glue it or tape it down, whichever one you prefer. I don't have glue sticks at home, so I'm going to tape it in. So that's nice and secure. Okay, so I have this nice and secure onto page 2. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut along the flaps here like it says, or along the dotted line, so that way I can create 6 different flaps. Here we go. Okay, so on the outside, I'm going to write this on for you, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, you're going to do this part on your own. Let me grab a pen. So here on the outside of the flaps, you are going to glue do not write this in. I am writing it in for you to do. Glue the faces here in date order. Okay? Glue faces here in date order. We're going to start off here. Is going to be the oldest date. To the, what recent. I don't know, new. Okay, the oldest one's going to start here at the top. Okay, I mean, if we got to come over here, look at our dates. Well, 430 BC would be the first one to go up here. The last one at the bottom would be what, 1932. Okay, the newest. Okay, so they must be in date order. So you need to figure out which one of these faces is 430 BC. That goes here. And you're going to glue those faces here sideways. One here, one here, one here, one here, one here. And that's it. Those are the only things that are going to go over here. Now, we have a few things, a few questions that we need to also write in. And so I apologize. I should have glued this over to the edge. I did it smack dab in the middle. I do not know why I did that. So hopefully you've already checked it out, the video, before you glued it in. Unlike me, just didn't pay attention. But since I taped it and not glued it, I can go ahead and make my correction. If you cannot, then over here at the top and on the sides is where you can write your questions. There are 4 questions that we need to write and answer. So I apologize. Again, though, if you glued it smack dab in the middle, no problem. You can write your questions and answers along the sides. Okay? So But since I taped it in, I'm going to go ahead and fix my mistake now. See? So it's possible for me to fix this. If you cannot fix it, not a problem. Here we go. What if I scoot it all the way over here to this edge? I think that might be better. Now I have all this space over here on page 2. Okay? So let's continue back over here. 400 and what was it? 30 BC goes at the top, and it keeps going in order, chronological order. Let's open it up so that way you know. In the inside of the flaps over here on this side, which would be the left side, you are going to put the atom picture and date. So you're going to put the atom, pick, and date. Right? Over here for each one. The atom, pick, and date. Remember, they're in chronological order, so don't just slap them in. You need to put them in the correct ones in order. Atom, I almost said atomic. Pick and date. On every one of the inside flaps. Now on this side over here, I'm going to draw a line just to help me out, right? So that way I can see, there goes that flap. Look at this. So look, there's 6 inside here now. You are going to, inside here, go ahead and glue in the descriptions. So glue in descriptions here. Remember, they're still in chronological order. Glue in, because they need to match up. Descriptions here. Okay, for everybody. So there are 6 faces, there are 6 dates, there are 6 atomic pictures, and there are 6 descriptions. So the faces are going to go on the outside flap out here. When you open it up on this side, I should be able to see the picture of the atom as well as the date in here. And on this side, you're going to find that matches the description that goes along with it. Okay? You are going to do that. I'm not going to do that for you because that is part of your grade. Now, let's come over here. There are 4 questions that we are gluing in. So, I'm sorry. I did not mean to say glue it. There are 4 questions that we are going to write in. We're still on page 2. Okay? So let's see. Question number, and you're going to answer them. Let me go ahead and write them in. Describe the modern theory of the atom and what is it called? That's question number 1. Write that in, answer it. Question number 2. Why has the atomic theory has changed over time? And we talked about this in our discussions. And if you watch the videos, I've talked about this. Why has the atomic theory changed over time? Write that in and answer it. Number 3. Why was the electron discovered first? We talked about that as well in lecture. So please write that question in and answer it. and number 4. Remember what I told you. These are the 6 main people who helped contribute to our atomic theory. And out of those 6 scientists, we still have changed our atomic theory and the structure of our atom. And it has evolved since these 6 scientists. But the next question is, why was the neutron discovered last? So why was the electron discovered first? Why was the neutron discovered last? We discussed those in the lecture that we've had so far. Why has the modern theory, or why has the atomic theory structure has evolved over time, and it continues to change. And even, like I said, even now, what we have now is still not even what those 6 scientists have came up and contributed to so far. Okay, there's a reason because of that. So explain to me why. And what is it currently called? What is our current model of the atom called? Okay, so look that up, find the answers, fill in the blanks. You must write the questions on page 2. I will take pictures also and post those pictures of the foldable, just in case if that's easier to look at than the video. The next page, let's turn and go ahead, and you need to write in page 3 and page 4. So let's go ahead. Let me fold get it ready. Page 3, let's label that. Page 3, and this side is going to be page 4. So let's look to see what's going on page 3 first. You're going to get this paper, Ions and Isotopes. Now the word isotopes we've already had in discussion, lecture discussion from our notes. The word ions, I know I threw that word out here a few times, but here in our notes, we're going to go over them in just a moment. Okay, so it's kind of a big page. It may not fit so well, and it doesn't fit too well inside here for my construction paper. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of like trace it out, cut it out with my scissors, so that way I can tape it in a lot easier. Or glue it, whichever one you prefer. So let's go ahead and get your scissors out. Let's cut along the edges so that way it can fit a lot better onto your foldable. All right, so get your glue, get your tape, whichever one you prefer. I'm going to use tape for me. It goes on to page 3. It goes on your page 3. Okay, so we'll come back, we'll fill that out, and again, I'll take pictures of page 3 for you. Let's go to page 4. You're going to get this paper right here that you've already printed out. Review sheet, matter and subatomic particles. Again, it doesn't fit so well on my foldable booklet, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut it out with scissors, so that way it can fit a little better. So get this into your page 4. You need to use your foldable and use your notes so you can answer page 4 on your own. Okay, page 4, look at this. It has a little table that we've been doing as homework already. We've gone over one of these on our notes. We've already had this on homework number 1 and homework number 2. So I know you can fill in this table. Okay. They gave you all the elements names. They gave you the mass number. They gave you the charge. The charge is something different. We haven't talked about charges, but we're going to talk about it when we fill in this ion and isotope page 3. Okay, that will make more sense then. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's look up here. There's questions up here. All matter has blank and takes up space, right? Has mass and takes up space. Protons and neutrons are found in the nucleus, right, of the atom. The atomic mass tells you the number of blank in the atoms. I'm sorry, it says atomic number, right? The atomic number tells you the number of, what was that? Protons. And that proton number is always going to be the same. It's never going to change. Remember what I gave you as an example, right? Like your driver's license number. Once you get a driver's license, because most of us are too young to be driving right now, but when you get your driver's license number, you're going to keep that number for the rest of your life, no matter how old you get, okay? Same thing here with atoms. Atoms have the same atomic number, but that remains the same. What number changes? The neutron number. What does that do? That causes it to gain weight or lose weight. And so as you age too, right, you're going to still have the same driver's license number, but your weight may fluctuate. You may gain weight as you age. You might lose weight as you age. Right? Same thing with the atom. Atoms age, and when they are aging, they are either gaining of neutrons or they're losing neutrons, which changes their mass. Okay? So we discussed that already in lecture. So let's go ahead and let's go to page 5 and page 6. Get your pen or marker, whatever you're using. Let's label page 5 and page 6. Page 5, page 6. All right, let's look at page 5. What's going to go onto page 5? Remember that extra piece of paper? And I had an extra piece of construction paper. We're going to need that now. That's going to go on page 5. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of, what do we call this? Hamburger fold? Just a little bit. I'm just going to just pinch it a little here. That's it. I'm going to open it up. That's the center of my page. Okay? I'm going to fold this side towards the center. And I'm going to fold this side in towards the center. And it's going to open up like this. Okay? I'm going to glue or tape it in onto my page 5. Okay? So let's get that secured onto page 5. And then we'll go to the next step on that. Now that we have it in, and it opens up like that, I need to cut it to where I have 1, 2, 3 flaps on this side, 1, 2, 3 flaps on this side. This is part of your foldable. For those of us who are lazy, who do not cut, you're going to lose points. Okay? There's a reason for my madness of what we do, why we do our foldables, and how we do them. I'm expecting you to do your foldable exactly like I'm doing my foldable. So let's go ahead and get your scissors. We're going to cut 3 even-ish flaps on this side. See? Nice. 1, 2, 3. And 3 on this side also. Okay, so we're going to glue some stuff on the outside, then we're going to glue some stuff in the inside of the flap. Here's what we're going to next. We're going to the pages that look like this. This one says inside and this one says outside. And these are, we're going to moles. So now the rest of our foldable is going to be over moles. Okay, so first thing though, if you look at your paper, it says must do this. Let's read the directions here. It says here to shade with colored pencils or highlighters all the moles the same color. Do the same thing for the grams and the particles. Okay, so for me, I'm going to use yellow, green, and red. And I'm going to go ahead and shade all of the grams the same color. There's 4 of them. All of the moles the same color. There's 4. And then the particles the same color. Okay, then we're going to cut them out in just a moment. So I've got my grams are green, my particles are yellow, and then my moles I have as red. So now that I've got them all colored in, let's go ahead and cut them. And if you look before you start to cut over here, this is going to go on flap 1, flap 2, flap 3, flap 4, flap 5, and on the flap 6. And if you go over here and look at the other page, it shows you how you're going to get it. Remember how we creased it in the middle? Then we folded them in. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that order. So let's go ahead, when you cut them out, keep them in that order. Don't just toss them to the side. All right. One, two. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those in so I don't get them all messed up. This goes on side 1.